play of the second quarter underway. And it'll be a quick pass here. Out to the right on his feet, crossing the 20. Down the sideline he goes. And did he step out of bounds? Looks like he did. So LosFresnos on the move again. Alegria on the reception there, breaking it to the outside. So a good pitch and catch there from Cruz to Alegria. Credit him with a 37-yard reception. Ball on the 42. 1st and 10. Still in their own territory. Trips left. And again, they'll stick to Alegria, but the pass will fall. Oh, they're going to wave it a backwards pass. That's what it looked like from up here. For a second there, Alegria thought it was an incomplete pass, but the officials waving it was a backward pass, meaning that it is a live ball. So that was a 6-yard loss. They'll back up 6 yards there. On the backwards pass, got to be aware of those. Alegria was able to pick up the football. Just for a split second there, he thought it was incomplete. Good awareness there. 2nd and 16, ball on the 36. It'll be a handoff this time. Eli Cruz on the carry. It'll bring up a 3rd and 14. Ball on the 38-yard line. So 3rd and long coming up for the LosFresnos Falcons. It'll be the first time tonight their offense is challenged. Meeting up with a 3rd and long. Big play here defensively for the Eagles as they're looking to stop the Falcon offense. It'll be a motion man. They'll split them out wide to the right. And again, they're going to stick to that quick screen, crossing the 40, still on his feet down to the 45-yard line. So he'll be well short of a Falcon first down. So they'll be looking to punt as special teams comes out onto the turf. That was William Cox on the reception. Cox, by the way, like Colon, had a big week last week against the PSJ Bears. So at any point, Colon and Cox can turn on the afterburners. So far, the Eagles have held them in check. So now the Eagles will call a timeout. That's their first timeout of the half. When we return, it'll be a 4th and 8. Falcons will be punting to the Eagles. You're listening to ValleyCentral.com. Welcome back to the action. It'll be a 4th and 8 for the Falcons. They'll be punting it off. 2 men back to receive this punt for the Eagles. The Eagle defense standing tall. And some flags will come in the area of maybe a false start. That'll back them up 5. And indeed it is a false start. We have 4th and 13. That'll back them up 5 yards on the false start. Well, the Eagles are looking for any help they can get. 9:54 in the first half. 14-0. Falcons lead the Eagles. Play clock down to 9. Snaps there. Punts away. It's a high, booming punt over his head. And how about that? It'll take a Falcon roll inside the 10. They're going to mark it at the 5-yard line. So a fantastic punt there from the LosFresnos special teams. That'll pin them at their own 5. That's where the Eagles will take over. You're going to need 95 yards of real estate in order to get into the end zone. The Eagles back with the football in the shadow of their own goalpost. They'll break the huddle. Ball will be on the 5s where they'll take over. Olivares out of the gun for the Eagles. Be a 4-receiver set. Play clock 10 down to 9. Offensive line sets. Going to be a quarterback keeper for Olivares. So a pickup of a couple there. So that'll bring up a 2nd and 7, a pickup of 3 on the quarterback keeper from Olivares. As Homer Reina checks into the ball game. Meanwhile, Danny Ramirez checks out. So 2nd and 7 coming up. Brandon Santamaria lined up wide at the bottom of your screen wearing the number 7 for the Eagles. 9:02 remaining, and here comes the house. He's going to be able to get out of trouble there around the 15-yard line. So Olivares picked up the blitz, tucked it and ran there. Ball be on the 12. That'll bring up a 3rd and 3. So the Falcons bringing the blitz. Olivares had the awareness to break the pocket and call his own number. 3 yards shy of the first down. Ball on the 12-yard line. As the LosFresnos band is starting to make their way down to the track area to warm up for their halftime performance. And again, here comes the blitz. And the pass is complete down the sideline. It'll be a 1st down and more for the Eagles. That is Richard Martinez on the reception for the Hanna Eagles. The ball will be on the 27-yard line, 15-yard back there. From Olivares to Martinez. $7.50 in the first half. And it'll be handoff to his big man, and a big hit made from the LosFresnos defense. On the carry there was Travis Griner. So after a pickup of nothing there, it'll be 2nd and 10. Second and 10 coming up. Ball on the 27. Out of the gun are the Eagles. Looking back to pass. Has time. And then here comes the rush, and down he goes. So a big sack there from the Falcon defense. As who other than Domingo Hernandez applying the pressure. So they'll be backed up now to a 3rd and 21. So a quick football game. We're now down to 6:34 in the first half. 14-0 Falcons lead the Eagles. Ball on the 16. 3rd and a mile coming up for the Eagles. Out of the gun. Fielded with one hand. He'll pitch it to his back, trying to bring it to the outside around the 25-yard line. He'll fall well short of the 1st down. So it'll be 4th down coming up for the Hanna Eagles. And they'll send their punt unit out onto the field. So 13 run plays coming from Hanna. 12 passing plays, so a balanced offense are the Eagles. But they still trail the Falcons 14-0. Now whistles will come in. It's going to be a timeout from Hanna. So they'll take their 2nd timeout of the half. It'll be 4th and 12 coming up. We're going to take a quick break. Falcons lead the Eagles 14-0. Welcome back to the action. 4th and 12. Ball on the 25. 5:38 remaining in the quick first half between the Falcons and the Eagles. See, line drive punt. It'll take an eagle roll. And it'll take yet again an eagle roll. It'll be fielded around the 34-yard line. We'll see where they officially spot it. So out comes the LosFresnos offense. 14-point lead in their back pocket. They'll spot it at the 38. Look for Alegria out of the slot. They'll have 3 wide receivers out to the left. 1 lone receiver to the top of your screen. So they'll send a man in motion. They'll split him out wide to the right. Out of the gun. They'll fake the quick screen, and they're going to go deep. Got a man downfield. Falls incomplete. Just when you think they're going to go short, they'll stick it to you with 1 deep. Good design there from the OC of the Falcons. You want to draw in the defensive backs, thinking they're going to go quick screen, quick screen, quick screen, quick screen. Then they'll fake it and go deep. So why not take your shots? 2nd and 10. Ball on the 38. So there'll be a lone back to the left of the quarterback. Rolling out to his left. Looks for the man. Complete. Around to the 38 to the 39-yard line. Pass completed to Hugo Peña. Flores was in on the tackle. So a pickup of 5. It'll cut it in half. So it'll bring up a minimal 3rd and 5 coming up for the Falcon offense. Clock continues to wind down at a 4:50 in the first half. Trips left for the Falcons. Looking to his left, rolling out, flushed out of the pocket. Hits his check down man, completed to Cruz, still on his feet. Breaking a tackle right around midfield. Eli Cruz there picking up the first down for the LosFresnos Falcons. He can move the chains. Eduardo Garcia in on the tackle. So Eli Cruz breaking again multiple tackles there on the reception. He's responsible for both of the Falcon touchdowns. 1 on the ground, 1 through the air. Ball right around midfield. 1st and 10. 14-0. Falcons with the lead. Out of the gun. Again, going to call his own number. Here is Cruz kind of weaving and working his way through the teeth of the Eagle defense. We've seen a plethora of quarterback draws here throughout the first half. That'll be a pickup of 8, so it'll bring up a 2nd and 2. And maybe a free play here coming up for the Falcons. They are in Eagle territory. Ball on the 44-yard line. And the snap's there. And again, they're going to call a quarterback keeper. Rolling out to his right. Picking up the first down. It's going to be first down Falcons. And the clock will stop at 3:45. Needed 2, and he got 8. The ball will be on the 38-yard line. 3:45 in the first half. 14-0. Falcons with the lead, and they're on the move. So we're coming to you live from Sam Stadium, live video and audio. Special thanks to ValleyCentral.com and KBSD 17 TV. And the quick pass has his man. A little bit of a dangerous throw there. Jonathan Robledo on the reception. That was a pickup of 7. Call it a 2nd and 3. So the clock continues to tick away here in the opening half. Falcons with the football and threatening to score. They're in Eagle territory. Looking back to pass again is Cruz. Over the middle into no man's land, and another dangerous throw there. Threw into double coverage there. So the Eagles with 1 remaining timeout. Falcons with all 3 timeouts. So it'll be another 3rd and 3 coming up. Ball on the 31. Out of the gun is Cruz, and again he'll call his own number, picking up the first down and more, crossing the 20, 10, 5, into the end zone. He can walk the dog. Touchdown, Falcons. Javier Cruz goes 31 yards into the end zone, making it 20-0 Falcons. So with the extra point coming up, Miguel Cruz, the extra point is up, and it is good. Goes straight through the uprights. So, and thanks to a 31-yard scamper from the quarterback Cruz, 21-0 Falcons with the lead. 3 minutes, 7 seconds remaining in the first half. You're tuning into ValleyCentral.com. Kevin Otto bringing you the play-by-play action. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back in a moment. Welcome back to the action, and all smiles in the coach's box for the Falcons. They lead 21-0. So this kickoff, they'll be going from left to right are the Eagles, looking across the 10, and reversing field, still on his feet, and he's lucky to get back to the 10, going from east to west, west to east. Nearly broke it to the outside. So the ball will be spotted on the 10-yard line. That's where the Eagles will take over. Well, the 2-minute offense could be full in effect here for the Eagles, looking to put some points on the scoreboard here at Sam Stadium. So with 2:56 remaining in the first half, a quick first half here at Sam's, Brownsville, Texas. Game 2 of the doubleheader here at Sam's. We saw Harlingen take it to the Raiders in the first game. It'll be a 1st and 10. Ball on the 10. Now spread them out, 2 to the left, 2 to the right, out of the gun. And it'll be a handoff, and a late flag will come in. So that flag came in from our side of the field, from the line judge. And it'll be an offsides against the Falcons. So he can tack on 5 more yards for the Eagles. Marco Garcia checks into the game at wide receiver, so you get that unique 1st and 5 coming up. They'll take the extra down, cut it in half, and the ball will be on the 15. 4 receivers set for the Eagles, and there'll be another handoff to their back, looking to pick up the first down. That is number 21 on the carry, Zavila, the senior running back. So he picked up 3 there. 2 yards shy of picking up the first down. It'll be 2nd and 2. So a good crowd on hand here for the Hannah Eagles. As both bands are now on the far side of the end zone, warming up for both their halftime performances. That is the Falcon band and the Eagle band. Being flushed out of the pocket, pointing to his man. Throws down the field, ball's up, and nearly intercepted. Threw into triple coverage there. His intended wideout was Marco Garcia. Domingo Hernandez in on that pass breakup along with Frankie Alzama and Danny Ramirez. So it'll be a 3rd and 2. Clock stops at exactly 2 minutes. Ball on the 18-yard line. The Eagles looking to keep their drive alive. Third and 2 from the gun. Here comes the blitz. He's going to tuck it and run. Picks up the first down and more. Down to the 29-yard line is Olivares. So just what the doctor ordered. They'll move the chains. First down, Eagles. So he needed 2. Got 11. Doing it both with his legs and with his arm. So $1:44 remaining in the first half. Eagles with the football on their own 29-yard line. Picked up a first down on that 3rd and 2 play. Now looking back to pass is Olivares. Has time, steps up, and throws to nobody. Towards no man's land there. Looks as if he was looking for his man. That was Richard Martinez. So the clock will stop with 1 minute and 32 seconds in the first half here at Sam Stadium. The visiting LosFresnos Falcons lead the home team Hannah Eagles 21-0. So it'll be a 2nd and 10. Ball on the 29. Looking back to pass. Rolls out to his right. Picks up a block. And just out of the reach of his intended receiver. So shaking his head in frustration is Marco Garcia. Just a little bit out of his reach. So the incomplete pass will stop the clock. 1:27 remaining. That'll bring up a 3rd and 10. So another 3rd down for the Eagles. They've been able to convert on their previous attempt. Rather, that was a 3rd and 2. This time it's a 3rd and 10. And Olivares was looking back to pass. Then he's going to call his own number. And then he'll be tackled and well short of the first down. So the clock will wind down. And it'll stop at 1:16. And there'll be a timeout called on the Falcons. Go figure. They want the football back. They're going to get it. It'll be a 4th and 10 coming up. Clock stops at 1:16. You're tuning into valleycentral.com. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back in a moment. Welcome back to the action. 1 minute 16 seconds remaining in the opening half. It'll be a 4th and 7. The Eagles will be punting away to the Falcons. So that'll be around the 47-yard line. That's where the Falcons will take over. They have plenty of time and 2 timeouts in their back pocket, looking to extend their lead. The ball will be officially spotted at the 49, so right around midfield is where the Falcon offense will take over. So Eli Cruz with a pair of touchdowns, along with his quarterback Javier Cruz had that 31-yard touchdown run on their previous drive. This time he'll air it out, nearly intercepted from an Eagle defender, went in and out of his hands. Again, Steven Solis, the junior D-back. Nearly had an interception. What a big interception that would have been. It had good starting field position. The timeout remaining for the Eagles. That's not the case. So it'll be a trips right for the Falcons. One lone receiver to the bottom of your screen. Looking back to pass. Has time. Steps up in the pocket. Rolls out to his right. Still on his feet. And that pass will just take a one bounce or one hop in front of his intended receiver. So a tough throw there from the quarterback, throwing from his far side. So that incomplete pass will do two things for the Eagle defense. One, it'll stop the clock, and it is a 3rd and 10. So now you're kind of looking at it if the Eagles get a stop here. Depending on what happens, if it's an incomplete pass, it'll be a 4th down. They'll be getting the football back with a timeout left, or if they elect to run it and stop them, they can use their final timeout and have around maybe 40 seconds remaining. But the pass will be incomplete. So just like I said, the Eagles will be looking to return a punt. It'll be 4th and 10 coming up for the Falcons. So there'll be 48 seconds remaining in the first half. The Eagles do have one more timeout. Depending on where this punt will land, you can start to think about what kind of strategy the Eagles will be using, which looks to be their final drive of the half. Punt is up. It's a high punt and a good one. Looks to be around the 15-yard line. We'll see where the officials spot it. Oh, no, he's going to say around the 11.5, the 12-yard line. So about 3 yards off there. So with 40 seconds, one timeout for the Eagles. Ball is on the 12. So pinned deep in their own territory. We'll see what their OC, Coach Morales, will elect to do here as he sends his offense out onto the field. They trail the Falcons 21-0. Ball on the 12. 1st and 10 for the Eagles. Out of the gun will be Andres Lopez. 4 wide receivers set. And they'll elect to stick it to the run game here with some room to run. Looking to pick up a block and does, crossing the 30 down to the 40. Down to the 49-yard line. No flags on the play. So again, the clock will stop until the ball is set. So they'll have time to line up on the carry there for the Eagles. That was Travis Griner picking up a chunk of yards there. Ball will be on the 44-yard line. Just what the Eagles needed. Saw the replay there. Picking up a couple of key blocks was Griner. Ball on the 44. Now the clock is continuing to run as soon as the ball was set. 20 seconds and counting. Play clock down to 10. They'll get it off. Being blitzed, flushed out of the pocket. Football's on the ground. But able to recover the fumble there is Griner. So with that play there, the clock will go ahead and wind down 1 second. And it'll hit double zeros. So at the end of a quick first half,